So we'll discuss a little bit about the minhag of Chavitas Harava. The minhag we all do in Shul, Hoshana Raba morning, of banging the Harava on the chair, on the ground, different minhagim. So the mitzvah of Chavitas Harava on Yom Shvi Shel Sukkos, that's a machlokas in the Gemara in Sukkah, on the Mem Daled Amid Aleph. Pligei ba Amorai, it's a machlokas among the Amoraim, the rabbis. Ihavi ki yisod neviim, o kaminig neviim. Is the banging of the arava on the ground, on the chair, is that takanas neviim? They actually made an institution. Oh, kaminhag neviim. Oh, it's just a custom that the prophets had. The Perish Rashi, what does it mean, Yisod Nevi'im? What does that mean? It's either Yisod Nevi'im or Minhag Nevi'im. So what does the foundation Yisod Nevi'im mean? So Perish Rashi, Takanas Nevi'im Achronim. Chagai Zechayo Malachi Shahayu Bimitakne Takanas Yisrael Ansheknes Agadola. It means that it was instituted by the later Nevi'im, Chagai Zechayo Malachi. Or what does minhag mean, Rashi? Hinhigo es ha'am. The people just used to do it, v'lo tiknu lahem. But it was never instituted to do. V'nafkamina, and in fact, Ramosha Feinstein has a tshuva about, he writes that many of the mitzvahs d'Rabbanan began as minhagim, and then later on they developed as a minhag takanas d'Rabbanan. But here, interesting, that's what Rashi writes, and higo asa'am v'lo tiknu lahem. The people were practicing it, but was never institutionalized, it was never formalized. And what's the difference whether I say it's minhag nevi'im or yisod nevi'im? So the nafkamina is, if you make a bracha. Do I make a bracha on the practice of chavitas aharava, the banging of the arava on the chair? If you assume it's minhag nevi'im, ein mevarach alaha, then we don't make a bracha if it's only a minhag. Why? Deleka l'meimar v'tzivanu, because you can't say asher kiddushato v'mitzvosa v'tzivanu, because afilu b'chlal lo sasar lesuk, it's not even included. We know how do we know that we could do mitzvahs d'Rabbanan? V'heichen tzivanu. So that's the Gemara in Shabbos. We make a bracha, asher kedushalam mitzvah v'tzivanu, lahadu near shel Chanukah. V'heichen tzivanu. How can we say v'tzivanu? It's not from God, it's from the rabbis. So the Gemara tells us because it's based on the pasuk Lo Sasar min hadavar asher yagidu, based on Lo Sasar. And according to the way some are learning, the Rambam Shita perhaps will see that minhagim are included in Lo Sasar. But here they write that you don't make a bracha v'tzivanu because it's not included in the listing of Chachama and the Lo Sasar. And then it says v'chein nifsak b'Shulchan Aruch simin taf reish zadi daled sif beis v'nolin. What does it say in the Shulchan Aruch? V'nolin arava b'yom zeh. You take an arava on Hoshana Raba. V'ovad arava shebelulav. Not in addition to the aravas, we always have willows on the four species. In addition to the four species of aravos, hadassim, lulav, and estrog, you take it, even though we make a bracha on the four species, the ein mevarchin aleh, but we don't make a bracha on the arava, we'll get into that. So clearly there's a mitzvah min HaTorah on the first day of Yantiv, L'kachta machem b'yom harishon, so we make a bracha on a mitzvah min HaTorah. And the rest of Sukkot is only a mitzvah midrabanan. It's only a rabbinical mitzvah. And we know we make brachas on mitzvahs drabanan as well. So the way some are learning this Gemara, the issue of whether we make a bracha. Now, according to the opinion, it's a Yisod HaNevi'im, it's a Takanas Nevi'im, you'd make a bracha. According to the opinion, it's Minhag Nevi'im, you don't make a bracha. So why don't you make a bracha? Even if you assume it's a minhag, why don't we make a bracha? So we'll go through Shitas Rashi, Shitas Rabbeinu Tam. It's interesting that people use the Machlokas Rishonim, Achronim, on whether you make a bracha on a minhag. People bring the same Gemara, but in a totally opposite direction, as we'll see. So Shitas Rashi. So Pligei Baharishonim Tiknu Chazal Levarach Al Shar Minhagim. So we know it's clear. The Gemara tells us, if you hold, and everyone seems to agree, if you hold Chavitas Arava, the banging of the Arava is only a minhag, everybody agrees there is no bracha. That seems to be clear. However, regarding other minhagim, it's not so clear. As we'll see, it's a Machlokas Rishonim, Machlokas Machaber Ramah, whether we make brachas on minhagim in general. For instance, Chatzi Halel on Rosh Chodesh. When we do a half a Halel on Rosh Chodesh, it's only a minhag. So the minhag among Ashkenaz is to make a blessing. The minhag among Sfardim is not. A different minhag among Sfardim, but the classical minhag. So L'mitzas Rishonim, the Gemara, so according to some Rishonim, the Gemara we have in front of us is a big proof that you don't make a bracha on a minhag in general. So they want to bring that we see not only don't we make a bracha on, the Gemara says you don't make a bracha on chavitas arava, it's a minhag. So from here Rishonim commentators deduce it's nothing discriminatory against chavitas arava, it's against all minhagim, we don't make a bracha. The ayin b'mishnah brura simin tafrei sadidala tzivkon yud beis, that he brings the reason of Rashi. Vehi shitas hamachaber, it is the shita of the Shulchan Aruch of Yosef Cairo. Shaposik gam b'alma she'ein mavarchin al haminhag, and that's the opinion of the Machaber that you don't make brachas on minhagim. Aval l'didan us b'nei Ashkenaz shepaskina behilchos Rosh Chodesh hamavarchin al minhag amiras halad Rosh Chodesh. V'chein al shar minhagim al karkas Aruch Omar Tushani minhag shel chavitas arava shel minhag zuta v'tilta b'yama kediver Rabbeinu Tam, that which we'll bring in. So the minhag Ashkenaz is, it's true the Gemara says, so according to the minhag of the Sfarim and the Machaber, this Gemara is the rule. Just like we don't make a bracha on chavitas arava, so too we don't make a bracha on any minhagim. And the other shitas say no. It's specifically because chavitas arava is tilta b'yama, it's not a big thing. But other minhagim, which are more than just mere tilto, as we'll get into it in Shitas Rabbeinu Tam, that you do make a bracha. That's the Shita of Rashi. Shitas Rabbeinu Tam is that you do make a bracha on customs. The general rule is Shemivarchin al haminhag. But then the kasha is, so why don't we make a bracha on chavitas arava? Because the eino la tilto. Since it's not, it's just stam, it's a banging, a little tilto, it's not worthy of a bracha. V'reisi v'shiboli haleket b'shem habal yireim sheperish divrei Gemara chavitas arava minhag nevi'im shelo levarach. That the chavitas arava is a minhag not to make a bracha. Mashma midvarav dafka kan. But in other places you do so. So according to Rashi, the rule is no bracha on a minhag, and it's right here. It's our Gemara. You don't make a bracha on chavitas arava. Rabbeinu Tam says the opposite. The Gemara singles out chavitas arava to tell me that's the exception to the rule, but other minhagim you do make a bracha, and that's the minhag of Chatzi Hala and Rosh Chodesh. V'da the masha'anu chovtim aravos b'yom zeh b'koach al haaretz eino me'ikar adin. You really don't have to do it. The lashon chavet and there's lashon nanu. Some say you should be holding them together with the daled minim, and therefore the different languages. And that's what they point out. It's only a minhag zukta. And therefore, so that's what comes out of it's really, the truth is, there's certain minhagim, everybody agrees, no bracha. There's certain minhagim, everyone agrees, yes bracha. So, chavitas harava, everyone agrees, no bracha. Making a bracha on Yontav Sheni Shalgoyas, on the second day of Yontav, minhag avosem b'yadechem, everyone agrees you make a bracha. The machokas among the Rishonim seems to be over Chatzi Hallel and Rosh Chodesh. So what's the issue? So those who say you don't make, Yontav Sheni Shagoyas is an exception. Maybe it's a universal custom. It's etc. Maybe the whole it's a takana drabanan. But the reason why the Rishonim explain why we make a bracha on Chatzi Hallel, because Hallel is a chefsa shel mitzvah. The Brisker Rav explains as well. The same Hallel we do on Rosh Chodesh is the same Hallel we do on Yontav when it is a mitzvah. Since it's the same object done to do the mitzvah, so therefore it has more chashivas, and therefore you make a bracha. However, chavitas harava is stam. So that's the machokas among Ashkenaz Sfardim. We generally make brachas on minhagim, and Sfardim generally do not. But that's a separate share.